Welcome to the Ultimate Momo Guide. Whether you're just picking her up or looking to refine your skills, this video is built to holistically help you improve and grow as a Momo player. This isn't just a basic overview. We're diving deep into mechanics, strategies, matchups, and everything in between. To make this the best resource possible, I've teamed up with some of the top Momo players in the game, including Subarashi and Chrome Zephyr, as well as McCoy, winner of the first Discord Cup on PC, along with other incredible contributors. Their insights helped shape this guide into something you can come back to time and time again as you level up. Make sure to check them all out. Links are in the description below. If you find this helpful, leaving a like, comment, and subscribing not only supports this channel, but also helps the algorithm share this guide with other Momo mains. Thank you so much, and enjoy the video. The key to Momo's alpha is understanding that the move is a projectile, and that you're hitting them with the purple wave, not the tool in her hand. The projectile is also sent forward in whichever way you're facing. If you're in the air and facing upward, the purple wave will be sent in the direction you are looking. You can use this to combat aerial characters. Additionally, Momo's alpha has a brief stun that keeps the enemy from moving for about 2 seconds. This can allow you or your teammates to execute combos by taking advantage of immobilized enemies. Momo's alpha is a short-ranged attack. Make sure you're in range before attempting an alpha as to not waste ammo. She gets 6, and if you waste your ammo, you'll have to wait 6 seconds instead of 2 for her ammo to refill. Using your alpha is the start to many of Momo's combos, so you'll always want to have ammo available to start a combo string. Momo's beta is a straight rush with her shield. Striking enemies with the shield deals damage. At the end of the rush, she will place her shield down. You can also simply tap beta to place your shield. Using this shield as cover can buy you time and block various but not all moves in the game, so staying aware while behind the shield is crucial. You get 2 shields at all levels, which can allow you to block walkways, stairways, and entrances. You can use these for cover to heal behind or pick up down teammates. The shield does indicate to other players that there may be a weak Momo behind it or one that just finished an attack, so don't get too comfortable behind it. Understanding how to use your cannons while not being overly reliant on them is the difference between a good Momo and a bad one. The cannons will always fire 3 bombs. Those bombs explode with dolls as shrapnel. You can use cannons in 3 different ways: medium and long range sniper, camping wake up, and guiding enemies into an area or keeping them from an area. Medium and long range sniping is exactly what it sounds like. If you see action in an area or your teammates ping, pointing a cannon or 2 in the area can help you catch some stray damage or KOs. If you're able to successfully read your enemies, you can use multiple cannons to camp their get up options and seal off areas they have access to, essentially backing them into a corner where they have nowhere to go, or guiding them to an area where you want them to go. Cannons are great for crowd control and helping get enemies off of a downed teammate or giving you space to heal. Pointing them towards the ground or yourself can give you this deterrent. Momo's Lucky Bag can supply you and your team with much needed healing items or a revive card if a teammate's downed. At the start of the game, you always get a large bag and 4 randomized items. It is important to gauge whether it would be beneficial to use her special action the moment a cooldown is over. Momo's play can be elevated by the use of skill cards. Remember that these cards stack if using 2 of the same color at the same time. This can let you get your special action back faster, deal massive damage, tank hits, or move faster and run up walls. In this section of the video, we will review combos. There are numerous possibilities for combos, but we will review the ones you will use most frequently. Here we have Alpha Alpha with Jab 1, Jab 2, Jab 3, and then Cannon on Wake Up. You can see this variation here when we start with cannons. By whiffing Jab 1, you're able to land Jab 3 without a knockdown, which deals additional damage. At this point in the combo, I use the terrain to make landing an air jab easier, which does additional damage and confirms the down. Here we have Alpha Alpha Air Jab, Cannon on Wake Up, and then Alpha Jab 1, Jab 2, Alpha. Again, cannons on Wake Up help you take advantage of her stun. In this next combo, by incorporating a jump into the end of the combo, we can execute Alpha, Alpha, Jab 1 into Air Jab to deal additional damage. This final combo incorporates Momo's shield as a finishing move, or gives her an escape option after dealing massive damage. There are additional combos you can execute with Momo's kit, but these are some of the easiest to incorporate into play consistently. Avoiding open areas will keep you safe from various rapids who thrive on being able to get in, attack, and get out. Making Rapid's playstyle more difficult for them by being inside a building or staying close to an enclosed area will help you control the battle and prevent them from escaping. Momo's playstyle can sometimes be campy, centered around buildings, small enclosed areas, where her cannons will do the most damage. The beauty of the tuning system is there's no one right way to use them. Depending on your playstyle, you can be a true support for your team with Coda Finder and Divine Intervention, setting your team up with levels and supplies, or be more aggressive in close combat with Sisterly and Electrification. Try to solve Momo's mobility problems with Wall Runner, or give her any of the staple tunings like High Speed Replenishment. With maxed Coda Finder, you'll see his location at the start of the game and can use your minimap to ping his location. Coda gives you 3 team enhancement kits if you save him. High Speed Replenishment cuts the time it takes to use GP drinks virtually in half. At max level, this lasts the majority of the game. This is incredibly useful for Momo, as she tends to be targeted by a lot of different characters. Being able to heal quickly will keep you in a fight. Divine Intervention lets you open large chests faster, which will allow you to set your team up with levels and supplies. Embrittlement inflicts 25% defense down on an enemy for a set time period, depending on how you level it up. Compression Magic increases the number of team heals you'll be able to carry in your bag. Sisterly Disposition is activated by meleeing an opponent. From there, your defense is increased by 50%. This can help you tank hits you otherwise wouldn't have. Electrification activates Denki's special action on Guard Break. This allows you to stun enemies. This also forces close combat characters to give you additional space, such as Iida and Twice. Wall Runner is by far the skill I would recommend the most for Momo. It solves her mobility issues in a number of ways. She can pursue enemies who usually would get away due to climb time. She can also escape numerous situations by running up and into a building that they may not have been prepared for. Additionally, with Wall Runner, you can run and jump between buildings, which can allow you to evade an enemy. Using Wall Runner tech can also give you an additional advantage to surprise enemies, moving quicker away from them or reach higher points faster. You can execute this tech by inputting a jump immediately after taking your finger off the control stick while in Wall Run. I also want to give a shout out to Chrome Zephyr for his video on Wall Runner and Wall Runner tech. If you want to go more in depth on Wall Runner and Wall Runner tech, be sure to check that out. These are just a few of the tuning builds I'd recommend. Something to note when you're putting together a tuning build for Momo specifically is when you're using a skill that impacts her gamma, it won't impact any of the damage for her gamma. This means those resources are better put into things like HP, GP, and her alpha. Melee moving is crazy fast and perfect for zipping around the map, but fair warning, it'll put a spotlight on you. Use it in quick bursts to dodge danger and make slick escapes. This tech is clutch in solos where it's all on you to survive and thrive. While we're on the subject of tech, I'd like to give a shout out to Ice for sharing this tech with me. By executing a roll prior to shield placement, you can land in front of your shield. This also works with running jumps. This can give you an additional way to pursue enemies that they're not expecting. This advanced Momo tech needs to be further explored. If you place a cannon low on the map and aim it upward, the shots will arc and slowly drop back near the cannon's positions. This is perfect for setting up surprise damage on enemies moving through areas like jump pads or boxes. McCoy even used this exact strategy during the first Discord Cup, firing a cannon from ground level to cover a getaway option for an unsuspecting player. The trajectory matters too. Aim upward from the ground and the cannon shots will arc slowly backwards. Aim forward and they'll travel out from a longer distance. Learn to angle them right and you can control the space in seriously creative ways. Each stage you play on does have a ceiling, meaning if you are standing on a tall enough building, you will hit the ceiling. So be very aware of where you're placing these cannons if you're using this tech. There's currently no known way to cancel Momo's cannon animation without using up your ammo. You can, however, still technically cancel it. If you hold down your gamma and just let it time out, the cannon won't fire. For this section of the video, I want to give a shout out to Subarashi. His information on matchups was integral to this portion of the video, and I couldn't have done it without him, so thank you. For Assault Deku, Momo wins this matchup if she can stay in alpha range. Assault Deku can be a nuisance if he can aim an alpha from afar, but beta shields set up properly can block it. Just be aware that sometimes his beta kick trades with beta shield bash. Momo faces some challenges when battling against a Strike Deku, but don't worry. With the right strategy, you can turn the tide in your favor. First, focus on spacing your attacks perfectly when he uses his gamma. If you time it just right, you can hit him hard after he lands. Keep an eye out on his beta stomps too. If you can anticipate those, you'll have a great opportunity to use your cannon effectively. When Deku tries to unleash his alphas, a smart move is to use a shield bash from a distance. Just remember to be cautious and avoid stepping into the range of his beta. You want to position yourself wisely. With these tactics in mind, you're more than capable of taking on a Strike Deku. In the current meta, Strike Bakugo's only saving grace is he can hurt around your shield. He can fire his alpha through your shield as well, but loses to Momo's alpha, gamma, and jab. Rapid Bakugo can be a real challenge to deal with, but with the right strategy, you can definitely keep him in check. One effective approach is to use cannons and alpha to disrupt his wake-up options. Timing is key, and if you're on even ground, Momo's full jump can actually clear Bakugo's gamma. The trickiest part is finding the right moment to stop his relentless beta spam. To counter this, try positioning yourself near a wall and firing cannons at it. The explosions and flak projectiles will force Bakugo to reconsider his approach. His alpha projectile can sometimes phase through a beta shield, but if you set up your shield at mid-level, it can often block the alpha while you maintain control. Stay patient and watch for an opening. When facing Ochaco, her primary game plan is simple but dangerous. She wants to catch you with her gamma attack, setting you up for a devastating combo. And here's the tricky part. Her hitbox is bigger than what you actually see on the ground. That means that if you think you're safe, you might not be. The key to avoiding this, roll out of her gamma immediately. Don't hesitate, because if you get caught, she's going to take full advantage of it. Once you've avoided her setup, it's time to put the pressure on before she can reset. Use your alpha to keep her from running away. The last thing you want to do is to keep her trying to set up another gamma while you're stuck playing defense. Stay aggressive, stay unpredictable, and don't let her dictate the pace of the fight. Froppy is an easy matchup as she has one major weakness. You can shut her down with an alpha and well-timed cannons to stop her approach. A skilled Froppy will usually stay outside of your range, waiting for the perfect moment to dive in. She won't commit to close combat until she's mid-air, at which point she'll try to bait you out before launching her beta attack. So how do you stop her? You strike first. The perfect moment to punish her is while she's still in the air, just before she throws out a beta. If you can predict this, hitting her with jumping alphas will completely interrupt her plan, forcing her to rethink her approach, or better yet, giving you the opening to take control of the fight. Iida's beta kick is a seriously dangerous move, especially against Momo. The way it can curve around your shield and land a hit is a game changer. The key to this matchup is using retreating cannon fire, forcing Iida to approach into them. You won't be able to outrun him, so the real challenge is outsmarting him, either by trapping him in an alpha string or hitting him hard enough with the cannons that he's forced to run away or get taken out completely. It's all about keeping him on his toes and using your wits to control the fight. The key to playing against a strike Shoto is your beta. Your beta smashes through all of his moves and protects you from his alpha. As long as you respect Shoto's gamma range, you should be able to easily avoid being frozen. Momo tends to struggle against characters like Tech Shoto, mainly because their alphas have a longer range and can easily overpower her, but it's not a lost cause. If you use the terrain wisely, you can still make things work in your favor. Tech Shoto's moves can counter Momo's alpha and gamma, but beta, ice pillar, and gamma fire tornadoes can wipe out both of her attacks in a flash. When Tech Shoto throws his attacks head on at her, Momo's beta can completely wall his entire setup. This is where the terrain and cannons come into play. Set up your cannons strategically ahead of time, and you may be able to erase the objects on his way, allowing your cannons to directly hit him. Once you manage to land a beta on him, or get him to burn through his gamma, it's time to capitalize. You can punish him with alphas, but be cautious. Don't get too close, or he'll catch you with his ice ring from firing alphas. Assault Kirishima is a tough, hard-hitting opponent, but he's manageable once you have the formula down. If you play smart with your movement, good rolling, and clever use of your beta shield can help you survive and counterattack effectively. Assault Kirishima's biggest threat is his Gamma Shockwave. It'll ruin your day in an instant. If he's expecting you to jump back in the action immediately, delaying your wake up can throw off his timing and create an opening for you to turn the tables. The best options for facing a Strike Kirishima are to avoid his beta entirely. But if you're facing him, you can roll it at the very last second of the beta. Outside of very niche tuning builds, there aren't a ton of great options that let you take the advantage on this character. Shinso is a tough matchup for Momo. His Gamma can't hit you behind a stationary shield, but his Alpha can grab you out of a beta rush. His Beta can knock you out of your Beta as well if it clips your side. Respect his combos at range. If you can close the gap and stuff his Alpha before it trades, you have a chance to pressure him. Still, it's one of Momo's harder matchups. Strike Denki is easy to punish as long as you respect the Gamma's travel distance and startup. Against Kaminari, Momo has a favorable matchup. Keep enough distance to safely land an Alpha attack without getting caught in the Gamma startup. If he tries to Gamma, shut him down immediately to waste a charge. If he goes for a Beta, you can rush in and interrupt him. If he activates his special action, use cover or a safe moment to set up cannon fire in key positions to discourage him from attempting a stun. However, if Kaminari is jumping you, unless they slip up or rely too much on Beta, you can quickly use an Alpha slap and convert it into a combo. The Momo Ditto is all about spacing, tech, and combos. Bait out her alphas, and you can lock her down with cannons on wake up. In beta battles, smart angles are the key. One bad trade and you're staggered and exposed to her. Ibara's alpha breaks through your shield and cannons, so being at a long range from her doesn't give you great options for fighting her. Instead, sticking to your alpha's range and challenging her vertically when the terrain allows is the key to winning this matchup.
Not for long.
Mirio's alpha and beta attacks will break through your shield, so time your roll to avoid them and counter with your alpha to stun him. If he tries to use a gamma, you can interrupt it by rushing in with a melee attack, giving you the perfect chance to land a powerful melee alpha melee combo. Stay sharp and keep up the pressure. Nejire's beta can be dealt with by using your own beta, but if she's above you, you want to be very aware of being hit by a gamma. Nejire has 3 air dashes since the nerfs, so if you can keep track of these, you can predict her landing options with cannons and put an end to things quickly. The biggest trouble about All Might is he can literally run forever. I mean, this guy is crazy when it comes to his special action, beta, and then tornado. Keeping him inside a building with alphas is the key to success here. Your beta is also a great option to throw out against his gamma, but depending on where you are at in the move from a startup standpoint will all depend on how this interacts with his tornado. Kendo is all about mind games, and if you play your cards right, you can break through her defenses with ease. Get just close enough to land an alpha attack when she drops her beta shield without triggering a stagger. It's all about precision. When using cannons, don't just fire directly at her. Instead, aim around her to ensure they detonate and chip away at her shield. And if you're in a covered area, use the environment to your advantage. Shoot at the ceiling or a wall to rain down explosives on her. Master these tactics and you'll keep Kendo on the defensive the entire match. President Mike is easily one of the most overlooked threats in the roster. In this matchup, you've got to shut down his boombox before it starts. Always be ready to alpha in the moment he throws it out, or you risk getting caught in a brutal stun combo. His pressure is no joke, but using your beta and smart positioning can flip the script and turn this matchup in your favor.
That's broke.
Tech Denki thrives when he can keep you at a distance, using his traps to control space and punish reckless approaches. This matchup is all about patience and precision, using your beta to wisely and safely close the gap and break through his zoning. Tech Denki players rely on conditioning, so mix up your approach angles and don't be predictable. Once you get in, his defense can crack under pressure, but getting there takes smart movement and timing. Hawks plays a lot like Iida, so your best bet is keeping him at a distance. You don't want him close enough to land his jab, so you always need a cannon ready to fire near yourself as a defensive option. If he tags you with a gamma, he might get overconfident and rush around a corner. Perfect time to hit him with a preset cannon and get blown away. If he's going for a beta attack, pulling out a beta shield can force a trade and knock him back, giving you some breathing room. But don't rely on it too much. His alpha feathers can partially bypass a set shield, so stay alert and adapt to his approach. Keep these strategies in mind and you can keep Hawks grounded. When it comes to the Aizawa matchup, Momo is at a clear disadvantage, especially from a distance. Aizawa's special action and his alpha make it nearly impossible for her to escape or gain the upper hand in a ranged confrontation. His kit is designed to lock down and punish characters like Momo who rely on a setup and spacing. Your best strategy in this matchup is to avoid prolonged engagements at range. Wait for Aizawa to use his special action. Once it's on cooldown, that's your window to reposition or engage more safely. Alternatively, a surprise attack can turn the tide in your favor. Catch him off guard, commit to a burst of damage, and aim to finish the fight quickly before he has a chance to reset and control the pace again. Cementoss is one of Momo's toughest matchups. Without Wall Runner, he can dominate the high ground and shut her down in tight spaces. But with Wall Runner, Momo can contest that space and apply pressure from above. If you're not running it, stay in open areas, use your cannons to poke him, and bait off structures before committing. Smart positioning makes all the difference. Endeavor is a powerhouse at range. If he controls the distance, he controls the match. The key to winning this matchup is staying aggressive. If you can survive his special action and stay in his face with consistent alpha pressure, you can overwhelm him. Endeavor's Gamma pierces through walls, buildings, and even your shield if it's placed, so don't rely on cover too much. His beta can also disrupt your own if it's thrown on the ground, so be mindful of where and when it's deployed. Awareness and timing are the key to avoiding unnecessary damage. The key to the Mount Lady matchup is to fight her inside a building where she can't use her special action. If she alphas, you alpha. If she betas, then you beta her. You can also trade an alpha as well, but the biggest thing is you want to avoid her using her special action. If she does use her special action, using your beta can protect you and knock her out of her big form. Strike Shigaraki is a losing matchup for Momo, but with the right strategy, you can stay alive. When he uses his beta, you can stall in the air by executing a jump beta of your own. This also mitigates any of the damage from his own beta. As always, cannon punishes are your best friend when it comes to wake up options. If he gets aggressive and comes after you with his own Gamma, using your Gamma defensively is a great option. You can also jump and beta over his alphas to avoid getting clipped. If you're fighting him indoors, be extra careful. That's his playground, and it puts you at a huge disadvantage. Your best move? Avoid tight places and stay out of his beta range to keep control of the fight. Ultimately in this matchup, terrain matters the most. If you're high up and he isn't, his alpha can only go so far. Assault Shigaraki's game plan is simple. Stand back and spam alphas. Your job? Find the right openings to shut him down. If he ever tries to close the gap with a Gamma Dash, your best response is to slap him with an alpha immediately. If he throws out a beta defensively to keep you from approaching, don't be intimidated. If he's within alpha range, rush him down and take control. Unfortunately, this matchup is rough for Momo, since his alpha attack has no real counter for her. If you can force him into a bad getup option, you have a huge opportunity. Punish hard with a cannon to obliterate him, or time an alpha perfectly to swat him out of a Gamma escape attempt. Play it smart, and you can turn the tide on one of Momo's worst matchups. With All for One, as long as you roll his Gamma, he's slower than you. When he's cornered, they will typically use a Gamma to push you away. Stay on him with alphas and you can interrupt his moves, winning this matchup. Tech Dabi is an easy matchup as long as you respect his traps and don't get caught off guard with his Gamma. Roll his alphas and punish him with your own alpha to make sure he stops running. Be aware that your own beta will not stop his beta traps, and you will still take damage from these. Strike Dabi is all about trading damage. He's going to hit you, so your goal is to hit him even harder. With the right timing, you can interrupt his beta kick with an alpha and turn the fight in your favor. If he enters Gamma mode, get a couple of alpha hits on him, and then pull out a beta shield to keep yourself covered. His fire bursts trigger way too often when he's getting slapped around, so you may as well make him regret it while chipping away his health. Once you knock him down, set up a cannon and get ready to alpha him as soon as he gets up. If his Gamma is about to go off, try to interrupt it with a cannon instead, and you'll be sealing the match on your terms. Tech Toga really is the slot machine character. On her own, however, she's not too hard to deal with. You can roll her alphas and her Gamma, and your beta shuts down most of her kit. But things get dangerous once she grabs someone's blood. That's when this matchup gets serious. She can copy any character, and by transforming in and out, she can reset her cooldowns. Knowing how to handle her at this point is what makes or breaks the fight. Rapid Toga is all about using her betas to stun, but she struggles against opponents who can slip right under her or enter an invulnerable state. Think All Might's Tornado. If you use a beta shield to move in, you can avoid getting clipped by her alpha and beta. This helps you close the gap. Expect her to use Gamma to reposition and flank you, but that's exactly where you can turn the tables. A well-placed cannon behind you can shut her down. And if she miscalculates, a quick alpha slap will do the trick. If you manage to knock her in a hard knockdown with a solid cannon position and a well-timed alpha or jab, you can finish the job. Toga thrives in open spaces, so use the environment to your advantage. Stick to buildings and tight areas where you can control the fight on your terms. Twice thrives on landing his Gamma to start combos, which keeps him right in your face. The good news, you can always trade an alpha with his Gamma, staggering each other repeatedly until he eventually gets knocked down. Once he's down, predict his wake-up options, set up cannon fire, and slap him back to the ground with an alpha before he can Gamma away. The key to beating combo-heavy players like Twice is avoiding quick get-ups. Stay down, break line of sight to recover, or turn the tables with smart trades. If you need to retreat, set up cannons to punish the next approach. The compressed matchup is definitely in Momo's favor. Lucky for him, he has some armor to avoid getting punished nonstop while trying to escape, but that doesn't change the fact that he struggles against her pressure. The real threat? Those Gamma orbs. Individually, they might not seem too dangerous, but don't underestimate them. Each explosion hits for around 90 damage, and if you're not careful, they'll stack up fast. Ignore them for too long, and you'll watch your health bar disappear before you even realize what happened. Overhaul's Gamma can be a real threat, but with the right timing, you can completely turn the fight in your favor. If you roll through it, and get in close, you can force him into a tough choice. Either burn his special action or take a huge punish. This is where you take control. Set up cannon fire to cover his wake-up options and keep him locked down. Another strong tactic is, if you're at a distance, pop your beta shield to rush him head on. This completely negates his traveling gamma, allowing you to close the gap safely. Stay aggressive and keep up the pressure, and you'll shut down his game plan before he can even get started. Most Kurogiri players crumble under relentless pressure, so the key is to turn their own portals against them. Use them as often as possible to stay aggressive, and then chain alpha combos to keep him locked down. If he shifts into gamma mode, don't hesitate. Hit him with a beta shield to knock him down. His alpha attack isn't much of a threat, so push through and slap him with an alpha before he can react. Many Kurogiri players try to mix in jabs to save ammo, but if you stay on the offensive, you can overwhelm them before they even have a chance to fight back. The next part of this video will cover team composition. Who you are working with is very important to the success of the team. Playing with characters that don't complement your playstyle doesn't help you stay alive. Inversely, playing with characters that complement Momo's playstyle or feed into her combos can be the difference between winning and losing. As we go through these characters, remember, it's the player that truly defines the playstyle. There are always exceptions, so take these insights as general guidelines, not hard rules. Kendo pairs exceptionally well with Momo, offering a strong synergy in both offense and defense. Her no knockback alpha adds consistent chip damage, and when combined with gamma, it can extend Momo's combos for devastating results. Kendo's beta shield is also a great tool for setting up cannon fire, and her throw can help Momo reposition when needed. Additionally, Kendo can act as a meat shield, drawing in aggression and setting up opponents for a well-placed cannon, especially if Momo's positioning remains unexposed. The main challenge with this duo is simply getting started in the match. Kendo is highly level dependent and struggles in certain matchups, making this early game a bit rough. Other strong teammates for Momo include Ibara, Assault Shigaraki, and Strike Bakugo, as well as Tech Todoroki and Kirishima. Strike Deku also provides a great complement to Momo defensively. Assault Shigaraki and Bakugo contribute heavy-hitting moves that integrate seamlessly into Momo's combos, while Tech Todoroki and Momo together create a near-total battlefield control. If you couple this duo with Strike Deku, you're sure to run the lobby. Certain characters simply don't mesh well with Momo's playstyle. All Might, Compress, Mount Lady, and Cementoss are some of the worst pairings for her. Cementoss in particular becomes an obstacle rather than an ally, getting in Momo's way and disrupting her setups. Mount Lady's attacks outside of her alphas have too much knockback, ruining Momo's combos. All Might and Compress don't contribute much beyond a basic alpha attack, and their kits lack meaningful synergy with Momo's game plan. Additionally, Compress and Cementoss occupy valuable support card slots that could be put to better use. Momo can be a powerful support, but also a potential liability if her teammates don't play around her strengths. Her lack of mobility makes her heavily reliant on staying with the team. If teammates stray too far, Momo becomes an easy target and won't be able to traverse the map quickly enough to assist teammates in fights. To maximize her effectiveness, stick with the characters like Kendo or Todoroki and rotate the map together, staying in enclosed areas to prevent anyone from getting isolated. Always be aware of Momo's health and positioning. While she can provide long-range support with cannon fire, she needs to stay within a reasonable distance of her team to remain effective. Play smart, safe, and together, and let Momo's support abilities turn the tide of the battle. Anyways, guys, that wraps up the Ultimate Momo Guide. We've covered everything you need to know, from her skills and combos, to matchups, team composition, tuning builds, and pro tips to dominate the battlefield. Whether you're just picking her up or you're looking to refine your playstyle, this guide should give you all the tools you need to master Momo and start winning more fights. Huge shout out to all the contributors who helped make this guide possible. Be sure to check them out. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more in-depth content. Let us know your thoughts and share your own Momo strategies in the comments below. And stay tuned for even more Momo content in the future. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.